G'day, thanks for watching. Let's take a look at the S&P and the Nasdaq. So what's happened here? If we look back at the previous FLD forecast, this was a 40-day forecast and price didn't actually cross. So that's invalid. We can remove it from that old high, which was the 11th of December. And we can put it on the low here at the 17th of December and do a forecast. Now, on the S&P, we got new all-time highs on the 26th of December, and it didn't quite make that FLD forecast and then dropped away. So now we have a situation where price looks like it's dropping into this 40-day zone. The overlap zone is between the 40-day and the 20-day, and we can get some dates on those. That's a very tight zone. 2nd of January through to, yes, the 4th of January, as I have it labelled on the chart. This is a good example of how cycle analysis identifies timing windows rather than certainties. If you'd like to understand how these cycle forecasts are developed and how tools like FLDs are used, there's more educational material available at futuremechanics.com. So if price continues down into this zone, this phasing says that'll be the 40-day low. After the 40-day low, I expect that price will rock and roll to the upside. The other thing that we can put on here is a valid trend line. So from the low back on the 21st of November, which is our 40-week low, through the 20-day low of the 17th of December. When that valid trend line is broken to the downside, if it's broken to the downside, that will confirm that the 40-day high is in. So let's see what we can see on the Nasdaq. Well, we had a similar situation here where we had a 40-day FLD target, which wasn't met. And since then, I've changed that scenario and suggested that the 20-day low occurred on the 17th of December. Now that we've discussed it before, and this low was late, the alternative, of course, is that that low was a 40-day low, which would make it very early. We'll bring some data in. Well, unlike the S&P, it certainly hasn't got anywhere near its all-time highs. In fact, it hasn't surpassed its previous high of the 10th of December. So weakness on the Nasdaq. It is dropping in to this 40-day low zone between the 2nd and 4th of January. That may continue. And we can put a valid trend line on. It's a 20-day valid trend line. And if that's broken to the downside, that will confirm that the 40-day high is in. Now, we have a very interesting situation here with this phasing, because the high of this 40-day, if in fact it's going to be made in this coming zone, is back here before the 20-day low, which makes that 40-day cycle left translated. Cyclically, that suggests that the ending low of the 40-day cycle should be lower than the starting low. Now, that's a guide, and nothing about cycle analysis is perfect or hard and fast. This may be an exception to that rule. Let's see. Time will tell. Thanks for watching.